Hi everyone, Kelsey here with Wolf Industries, and today we're doing a video highlighting our fantastic engineering team that we have in-house. Did you know that we have a turnkey option for you? We have a sales department, a permitting department, purchasing, and engineering. Now, if you have a design that you're looking for, a cottage cluster, large development community, maybe even a fourplex or a couple of them on your site, we can help with that. Our engineering team can handle everything you need from site planning, stormwater, grading, utilities. Everything you need to engineer your project, we can do for you. Now, let's go check them out. Looks like they're in. Please knock.
I'm Daniel with Wolf Industries. I'm one of two civil PEs that are working here in the engineering department. Yeah, I was hired on at Wolf to be part of the engineering team. There's two of us, two civils came over from the same firm, and Wolf has wanted to move forward with their own cluster development, cottage developments and stuff like that. So that's where we come into play. Rather than hiring a third-party firm, they can kind of drive the layout, the whole design, and put together communities that they want to see. So one of the first projects that Wolf did for their own cluster development, they came to the firm that I previously worked at, and Matt, the other civil here, and I had both worked on these projects before we came to Wolf. And so we had a pretty good idea of what they wanted. And then we came in, we had to take over, it was Ogden, was their first one. We had to take it over and actually do the as-built on that and did some touch up to the grading. And we started from there. We had to learn, not necessarily mistakes, but just things that we wanted to change with the layout, make it a better community. And we've now moved forward into a couple of other sites. We've got one that's in final engineering and another one that is in construction. So the basic process at Wolf, or for any firm, is it comes through the door, we've got to submit to whatever jurisdiction, whether it be city or county, and get it through that initial, we call it the pre-app phase. And we get some really early comments, and we go from there to the preliminary stage, and then we get a final staff report, and then we can go to final engineering. And so those are just the basic 3 stages. It can take 6 months to a year to get your civil plans approved, all the way from the what I'd call the pre-app phase all the way to final engineering, and then to actually get construction started. So you could be looking at a full year to actually start moving dirt on any site. So when a project comes into our engineering department, it starts with site planning and layout, and then it goes into the actual design, the engineering design, and then we'll do grading, stormwater management, and all the other parts involved with utilities. And then from there, once it's all finished with the design, we can then push it out to the permitting team, and then they start permitting all the buildings, and those can start getting constructed. And there's a lot of moving parts, and we take care of it all. So Wolf's first development was Ogden, as far as one of their rental communities. So what we learned from Ogden was not only layout, but different grading techniques we wanted to use to get a better flow with the sites and fit the buildings in better. And there was a lot of collaboration with Derek on how he wanted them situated. Maybe they were staggered, maybe they were angled, and just kind of build that really kind of a unique sense as you walk through the site. And we're now moving on with all we've learned from Ogden to Image District, which is coming online here shortly. The buildings are mostly set, sidewalks are getting poured. So we're excited to see all that come together. It's coming together, I would say, even better than what Ogden had come through with. So we really like the site. We're both the PEs, the engineers here, we're pretty excited about it. We both had a lot to do with the design and grading, so it's going to be a pretty cool site when it's all complete. What we like a lot better is we've changed up our techniques as far as how to approach the buildings. Instead of doing like wood decks, we've done concrete. And so we've been able to pour the whole face of that concrete. So it gives it a lot better approach, and it's a lot easier to get your sidewalks up to them, and creates a lot cleaner look too. So we're excited to see how that comes together. So between Ogden and Image, there's been a few changes, just recognizing what people's needs are and their lifestyles. And there's been some things removed and some things modified, I'd say enhanced. And what's unique about the cottage cluster developments in most jurisdictions is you're required to have courtyards, which kind of centralizes everything, gives everybody space to play, seating space, just things to really make it, real comfortable and inviting. And so in the Image District, I believe they're putting in a gazebo, which is going to be pretty cool. And there's paths running through the whole site and actually crossing out to the main road, so providing access. When I was at the previous firm, I took this project over, and it was in its final review process. So I had to do some minor changes to some of the utilities. And then when I came to Wolf, I was able to regrade the whole site, and that was really cool because I'd learned quite a bit off the previous projects I'd worked on that were cottage clusters, and was able to make the buildings set better with the terrain. That was what I got to do. That was pretty cool. So now that my part's done, I get to hand it off to my son, Kendall Lang, who is the project manager out there at Image. So it all ties together, father and son. It's pretty cool.
Thanks for joining us today, where we highlighted our fantastic engineering team here at Wolf Industries. To learn more about our cottage clusters, any development projects that you might have ideas for, reach out today at wolfind.com.